I don't know how I feel about the term creative control. I think creative autonomy is important. Scratch autonomy, creative freedom, that's the word. Creative freedom means the ability to be able to think freely, express yourself freely. Tahini, and I'm the director of A&R at Mavin Global. To be an A&R is so hard to define. It's the breadth of it is extensive. A traditional definition is you're the link between the artist and the label. You're the bridge, sort of. So everything that is pertaining to the artist's plans for the rest of the year on year, you are at the center of it because you need to make sure that plans are moving, so you're liaising with all of the different departments in the company. But then the experience will teach you that it's so beyond that. It's beyond being in the studio, it's beyond being around the music. It is essentially people development. You have to be in every single situation, oftentimes even personal. You are creating the product with the artist, from the music to the visuals to their art to artwork, whatever, everything that you see that is visual and audio comes from the heart of the A&R unit. When you're developing artists, especially young artists, in the way Mavin does it, their dreams are your dreams, right? Their demands are very, very constant and very urgent all the time, and their demands are very personal. Like, I want to be this, I want to become that. So you have the burden of making, I guess, so to speak, their dreams come true. You have to have passion for people. You have to want to be able to impact people's lives. You have to love people. You have to love people. People think you have to love music first, but you have to love people. Number two, you have to have a lot of patience. Artists are amazing, but they're very erratic sometimes. And they can be quite emotional as well, so that can sort of tend to weigh on you if you don't have the patience for it and the love for it. And I'll say that, of course, you have to love music, you have to be creative, you have to be super organized because you are literally the structure to their lives, right, and their careers. So you have to be very organized, you have to be a project manager, you have to be a super planner. So yeah, those are just to name a few, I guess. I get why people think it is glamorous. I think that people think, oh, you're rolling with celebrities, you're around the artist, you're the cool person. Most of the day-to-day does not look like that. I mean, in general, A&Rs, like, always flying around the world, meeting up with other A&Rs, being in studio sessions, meeting, other artists. So it's a fun life, being out all night. But the truth of the matter, especially when you're an exec A&R, there's a bit of a difference, right? You have a bird's eye view across the board, right? There's a lot of things weighing on you. You're looking at budgets, you're looking at, down to the details of the person's hair on a music video. So there's the spectrum is so wide. There's so many things you're doing. I find myself at the end of every Friday when we put out music, I don't have the zeal to go out anymore. It's not always glamorous. It tends to get really draining because it's high pace, high intensity. You have so many vendors you need to manage. I have a big team, but I still have to be there as well because they also have so much to do. So there is the glamorous part. I feel like over time, as your artists get bigger and bigger, you find yourself being able to live that glamorous life of an A&R that a lot of people want. I think the best part of being an A&R is being able to impact people's careers and people's lives and making a change. Seeing somebody go from point A to point B, I think that's the most fulfilling part. There are things you can't put on your resume. You can never, it's hard to put, I was up all night till 4 a.m., canceling this person, or, you're a therapist part-time, you're an exec. So there's a lot of things that go on that is hard to sum up really. But it is a great role. If it's for you, then I think when it's time to create around a song. So we have a song now, thinking about how we're going to present it to the world. So everything that you see that carries the music, the artwork, the videos, the content, just the general output from the artist that carries the music. So for me, that's where I guess I have to, even the styling, just thinking about how they're meant to look, especially for a brand new artist. When we're launching a brand new artist, it's always an amazing time for me in my mind, because it's time to create something brand new. It's time to innovate and think different and really sometimes even shock people. So you're trying to create something new. I think that's very exciting for me. You always want to position an artist in a way that they're not in anybody's shadow, and you have to define that positioning very well. If not, it becomes very unclear when they're out and people are trying to now put them in some boxes or write them off immediately, so if they don't stand out.
And the winner is Bloody Samaritan by Ayra Starr.
Thank you so much to everybody that was a part of this journey with me. Don Jazzy, Rima, Tega, my mom, my auntie, my brothers, my sister, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Ayra Starr and I am the future. Thank you.
There's always the X factor you can solve for. We've put out music that we thought this is going to be a banger, and it wasn't. You learn and you move forward, and you learn from that, because feedback from the audience, the fans, is very important. But of course, you also don't want to always be reactive, because sometimes you have to hit the nail on the head more than once before it goes in. Sometimes artists do something once, it didn't work out, so they're like, okay, it was a bad idea. Sometimes it's not always a bad idea. You're on the right path. You just need to make sure that you hammer it some more to stick. And if it doesn't, you move on.
And the award goes to Ladipo, featuring Simi.
Big thank you to my team, to the fans. Big shout out to my director of A&R. She convinced me to put out that song. She said the world needs a song like this right now. Thank you very much.
Oftentimes, when you do this work as an A&R, it feels thankless. It felt really great in that moment. I mean, I love Paul, and I'm happy that he was able to, I guess, give me that moment on stage. But it's happened 3 times now, by the way, so I'm gaining grounds. How would I like to be remembered? I would want to have impacted as many people's lives as I possibly could in my lifetime, and I want to be remembered for that. Hi, my name is Rima, and you're watching Creative Control.